Hi friends, this is Juani and welcome to Juani's house. And today is gonna be another story time. So I have done some crazy things when it comes to the holidays and Christmas time, and this story is about how I just did too much. I really did too much. So this story is when my daughter was probably about 6 or 7 years old, and I used to plan for the holidays and Christmas beginning in September. So beginning in September, I would start buying her Christmas gifts and her clothing and things like that. And sometimes I would have to put things on layaway. And so I would put things on layaway for Christmas and pay on it until come up to Christmas. So I had put whatever these things were on layaway. And of course during that time I would always look at my Sunday circular and see different things on sale, and I would pick up things as they were on sale that I knew that she would like. Or I don't know if any of you were like, you had kids, and if you had a daughter and there were certain things that took you back to your childhood and you was like, oh my God, I remember this, we can play this. So some of those things were like my Easy Bake Oven, the Operation Game, things like that I remember from my childhood, my Barbie dream house, and when she was younger and they were popular again, it just really took me back, like my Baby Alive. So it was just a lot of things. And so I would just, when I saw things, I would buy them and I would put them away and I would hide them. So every Saturday, beginning in October or so, I would get up really early and I would go to the Mattel store that was in El Segundo, off of El Segundo in Los Angeles. And so I would get up early and you would stand in line because they would sell all the Mattel toys. Some of them they had in the store, some of them were like special edition. And so I would buy my daughter like these special edition Barbie dolls. They had the Lucy and Ricky Barbie. I didn't buy her that one, but they had things like that. There were a lot of people who were in line who wanted, like who collected Hot Wheels, and they would come in there and get the Hot Wheels, and it was just a really great size store. But some of the boxes in there, they were dented boxes. So in the middle of the store, they would have like everything that was dented, but it was in great condition, just the boxes were dented. And they would be like 50, 60, 70% off depending on what color tag it had on there. So people would get up early Saturday to go there, to see what they had. So every Saturday I would do this. And I would leave and I would always have something. And so I would take it and I would put it in my storage in our apartment. And then I would go to different stores during my lunch break and around where I worked, and I would go to the garment district and I would get things from the garment district and brought them back to my office and I would put them in my office, right? And so this went on. So mind you, I started shopping and doing all my stuff in September. Back then I did. So I would start in September, and then here we go, Christmas, we go Thanksgiving, Black Friday. So during Black Friday, my entire office knew that was my time. I had my paper out, I knew where I was going. I would look up Black Friday sales and things to kind of see who had what. And so I would discuss it with my co-workers, and they knew that I was going to go shopping. So they would ask me to pick up things that they wanted at these stores, and they paid me to do it. I sure did. That was extra money. I was already shopping, so depending on what it was that you needed, how much it was, that would just depend on determine how much you were gonna pay me to do your shopping for you. So Black Friday came. I picked up all of these things that I wanted, and I brought them home, and I hid them in my sister's storage unit, right? Because we had 2 storage units. So I had some in mine, had some in hers, and I had some in my trunk. Okay? So here we go, Christmas, we go riding around to see the lights that day. My daughter had on her pajamas, and so when we got back home, we watched on TV, I think it's a Charlie Brown Christmas. We watched that, and she went to bed. She was so excited. So I was cooking for Christmas dinner, and a little bit later, you know, I would always sneak back out, and I would go and bring in her gifts, and I would put them out all around the tree in, you know, in a really nice. Some things were wrapped. The majority of things were not wrapped because it looked like it would if Santa would have come, and I would just set them all up around the tree out of the packaging. Guys, your girl overdid it. I had things in both storages outside in the bags. Then I had things in my trunk that I had put in my office that I was hiding away from her. So I had to bring that in. Plus, I had things in my closet hidden. And then I had things up under my bed. When I took out all of her presents, this is just for her. Mind you, I only had 1 child. All this was for her. My living room was a pretty good size. It was a living room, dining room, like together. Really good size. All of her things were, it was like leading out the door. I could not believe that I had done that. And then, I don't even want to talk about my dad and my mom had sent me things from Atlanta for her that I had to go and pick up from Toys R Us. So she had so much stuff. I mean, you really could not walk out into the living room without stepping on some type of toy. I lied to you not, guys. It was leading out the door. So my dad asked me, he was like, "You got all her things out?" I'm like, "Yes." He said, "Are you satisfied?" I'm like, "Yeah." So my sister, she had not seen this yet. So the next morning, my daughter wakes up because Santa Claus has come, and she's like, "Oh, mommy, I have been really, really good. I have so much toys. It's leading out the door." If I tell you guys, I promise you, her toys were literally leading out the door. There was no room to walk. It was really embarrassing. It really was. But I had to put them all out. I mean, what was I gonna do? I could have saved some for a couple of Christmases. So my sister wakes up, and she comes out, and she stands in the hallway looking out into the living room, and she says, "Oh my God, Luana, what did you do?" And I'm like, "Santa Claus came." And she was like, "You know what? This doesn't make any sense. This is enough toys for 5 kids." And I'm like, I could not argue with her because it was so much. My daughter, she got a computer. She had like clothes. She had shoes. She had all types of Barbies. She had the Barbie van. She had the Barbie dream house. She just had stuff. Oh my God. My sister was so mad at me. And she's like, "This doesn't make any sense. Tomorrow, I'm going to take her down to the mission so she can really understand what Christmas is all about." I said, "She knows what Christmas is all about. She understands that. This had nothing to do with her. This was me." And guys, it all stemmed from growing up. I always had big Christmases. I was not the only child, but we always had huge Christmases. And my parents always wanted to, you know, they would be like, well, I feel satisfied. And I would have felt satisfied had I realized how much stuff I had. It was so much stuff. So what we ended up doing was all of her old things, we donated them to a children's shelter, and we mixed in some of the newer things with that, and we gave it to the children's shelter also. But I just could not believe what I had done. If I tell you, I had Toys R Us in my living room, and you know, from that day on, I really became very mindful of what I bought, how much I bought, and I still hear my dad saying, are you satisfied? Well, now I'm satisfied, because now your girl has limits and limitations. And so now we're starting these same types of traditions with my niece and my nephew. And during the holidays, it's really difficult for me not to get carried away, because I really want them to just have the types of Christmases that we had. And so what we're doing now is that, because they're the only two grandchildren, well, they're the young ones, everyone is buying them 3 things. All of my siblings are buying them 3 things, and then whatever they get at their parents' house, but we're buying them 3 things a piece, so you know, they will still have a pretty nice Christmas when they come over here to Auntie Juani's house. So guys, I wanted to share that story with you guys. It's not as funny as the other one, but it is a story, and it taught me to set boundaries, and I realized then that I need to have things in front of me, because if it's away, I'm gonna go overboard. And so if you like this story, give me a thumbs up, and let me know something that you've done during the holidays that you later regretted, or maybe not regretted, but it was a learning experience for you. This was definitely a learning experience for me. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, and stay tuned, because now we're on day 8. Tomorrow is day 9, and it's gonna be a DIY. So I will see you tomorrow, but before we go, you know what I always say, the next time you're in town, you can always stop by Juani's house. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.